Hey, what's up guys, and welcome back to another video. Today's video we're going to be carrying on with LARS. Today we're going to be looking at silent entry. If you haven't watched the dynamic entry that I already put out on LARS, I recommend doing so because this one will make a little bit more sense. If you haven't, this will still be useful to you, but just bear in mind that maybe there'll be some things I say in this guide that won't make sense unless you've watched the dynamic entry stance guide video first. So this is part 2 of the 3-part series I'm doing on LARS. If you don't know already, I'm doing a 3-part series, one for dynamic entry, which we've already done, silent entry, which is this video, and then the last video will be limited entry. So just to remind you guys again, dynamic entry, silent entry, limited entry. So today, not wasting any more time, let's just get into the video and we'll look at silent entry now. Now, just with dynamic entry, I'm going to show you now what silent entry looks like, or the moves that that you can do out of this stance. Firstly, during silent entry, if he presses forward during dynamic entry, he goes into silent entry. That's a really important thing to know. We will go through other stuff, obviously, but this is something that I want to put right at the start because it's super important to know. Because sometimes you'll try and sidestep something if he goes into this manually. Try and sidestep this, and then boom, he goes into silent entry, and it's a completely different mix-up. Okay, so with that out of the way, you can do 1, which is the mid out of silent entry, the 2, which is the low, the 3, which is the mid launcher, the 4, which is homing but it's a high, 1+2, which is a power crush mid, and 3+4, which is also a mid that tracks. But it's kind of, I'll show you what you can do. Or again, he can press back when he's in silent entry and go back into dynamic entry. Okay, so first off, the 1, you sidestep left. Bit tricky to do it like this, but you see, sidestep left works against the 1 option. Sidestep left also works very well against the low. Sidestep left also works against the high. Sorry, not the high. The mid launcher. Sidestep left. Super easy. The 4, which is homing. But remember, it's a high. You can actually, if you're very precise with your sidestep, you can cover all of this with a sidestep left duck, which covers both options, right? And then the 1+2, which is the power crush. You sidestep left. You see? The sidestep left works against the power crush. And then 3+4. It does work, but it does track, as you can see. Just like the power crush. Maybe the first hit will hit you and it'll go miles away. Or it'll completely whiff, or it'll track completely. So don't count on sidestep left against the 3+4. The stars align, then you can sidestep that to the left. Now I'm going to move on to the different transitions. One thing I'll mention before we go into these is once he is in this silent entry, unlike with dynamic entry, even if he goes in manually, he can't cancel out of it or do any other moves. Like, he has to commit to do something in the move. Because as we said before, if he presses back, he goes to the dynamic entry, but he's still not able to block here. He can't cancel it, because if he presses down, he goes into limited entry. But yes, he cannot block when he's in this stance. He has to commit to something. He can't cancel out of it. So the first stance transition we're going to look at is his forward 1-2. This one. It is +6 on hit, as you can see. +3 with no shift. He can hold back to not shift here. It is -5 on block, as you can see. And it's also -8 on block with no shift. What we do here is we do a down forward 1, and this beats everything. Again, a down forward 1 beats a lot of these stance transitions. I'm going to hammer it home over and over again. Down forward 1, my guys. Down forward 1. It beats a lot of these stance transitions. On hit, because it is +6, you have to take the mix up. But that's forward 1-2 over with. The next transition we have is forward 2-1. Not forward 1-2, forward 2-1. And this is +6 on hit, +5 with no shift because he can hold back to not shift here. -5 on block if he shifts. And -6 if he doesn't shift on block. And -6 on block with no shift. On block, just the same. Down forward 1 beats everything, man. It really does beat everything. I'm going to show you the power crush just to convince you guys in case you don't believe me. Because I forgot to show you that the power crush actually doesn't beat this either. You can block the power crush. And bear in mind, when I say down forward 1, I'm talking about a 13 frame down forward 1 that's -3 or less. Because remember, Lars' down forward 1 isn't -1 anymore, it's -3. Just like Jin's, for example. So if you have a down forward 1 that's -3, when I say down forward 1 for all of these, use that. On hit, because it's +6, again, you have to take the mix-up. Moving on to down forward 2, which automatically goes into shift. But again, he can hold back to not shift. On hit, it is +9, +1 if he doesn't shift. It is -3 on block with a shift, and -11 on block with no shift. Now with this one, because it is -3 on block as opposed to -5, the down forward 1 is your best option, but it does not beat the power crush this time. It does not beat the power crush. But it does beat everything else. So if I do the other fastest option here, the 1, you can jab here, and you can down forward 1. So that's your best option, even though it doesn't beat the power crush. It beats literally everything else. On hit, because it is +9, you obviously have to take the mix-up there. There is nothing more you can do there. Just take the mix-up. Next up, we have down back 2. If he holds forward after down back 2, he goes into silent entry. He can just not go into silent entry here and just do down back 2. Or he can finish the string with down back 2-1. This is +6 on hit, +3 with no shift, -5 on block, and -8 on block with no shift. Again, we can do down forward 1. It beats everything, even the power crush. So that's your option on block. On hit, because it is +6, you have to take the mix up. Next up, we have back 3. If he holds forward, he goes to silent entry. He can also just do back 3, or he can do back 3-4 and finish the string. This is +11 on hit, +4 with no shift, -5 on block, and -12 with no shift. Now what we do here is actually, you can do a down forward 1 to beat out the power crush. Even if you do it quick enough, you can block after the power crush, right? Power crush doesn't beat the down forward 1. However, because he has a high extension, and we're not sure whether he's going to do back 4-3 or not, imagine that he's doing either one of these. You see, I can dick jab here. We're going to do the same thing in case he goes into stance. This will even beat the power crush. He won't be able to get the power crush off at all. So a dig jab here beats everything. It's actually, I guess you could call it a punish, really. The dig jab there beats everything. On hit, because it is +11, we have to take the mix up there. There's no other way around it. Moving on, we have while running 1. One of the new moves that he got in Season 2. This covers an insane amount of distance and goes into silent entry. He can also hold back to not shift. It is +4 on block if he shifts, as you can see. And if he doesn't shift, it is +2 on block. Here, you do actually have to take the mix-up. There is no, like, sidesteppable options here. Maybe go for a power crush if you're feeling risky. But other than that, I would say guess is your best option. You're going to have to go to the casino on this one. Next up, we have while standing 2. If he holds forward, he can go into silent entry. If he holds back, if he holds down, sorry, he can go into dynamic entry, like we said before. So forward for silent entry, down for dynamic entry. That's the difference, right? He can finish the string here with while standing 2-1 or while standing 2-3. Now on hit, it's +6. If he shifts, it's +3 if he does not shift. It's -5 on block, and it's -8 on block with no shift. As we said, be careful because he can finish a string with while standing 2-1, and if this counter hits, this knocks down. On block, you can do a down forward 1 here. It will beat everything, just like the other times. You have to be quick with it. And remember that LARS is -3, right? So do take that in mind. A down forward 1 that'd be -1 would be quicker to recover, so it won't get beaten out by the power crush if you do it slightly late, right? You got an extra frame or 2 leniency. Do be aware, this does beat it, but he can always finish a string with while standing 2-1, right? And as I said before, the second hit counter hit knocks down. On hits, because it's +6, you have to take the mix up there, and that's that. Moving on, we have dynamic entry 1 forward. Right, so you remember this, he can do the first hit and go into silent entry. This is actually a very good mix-up. And it also catches people, you know, getting hit by the follow-up here. This is +4 on hit, +8 with no shift, because he doesn't have to go into silent entry here. It is -3 on block. As you can see, if he shifts, it's -3. And it's +1 on block with no shift. Always remember, he can finish the string with 1-2. On block, just like with another transition we looked at, a down forward 1 will beat everything but the power crush. It won't beat out the power crush here, but it beats everything else. You can jab if you're sure he's not going to do the low, but you can always do the low and counter hit launch you, so I would never jab here. I would always down forward 1, or maybe do my own power crush if you're feeling risky again. But down forward 1 is probably the safest option you can use here, or take the mix up. It's up to you. On hit, this is where we can actually do something, because it's only +4. A sidewalk left immediate duck beats everything except the 1+2, the power crush, and the 3+4. This power crush right here and the 2 kicks here. If you sidewalk left immediate duck, this will beat everything but those 2 moves. Next up, we're going to talk about probably why you've actually clicked on this video, dynamic entry 3. So this is +5. If I go into heat here, it won't do a heat engager. This is +5 on hit and on block. It's a weird move. It's +5 either way. And he has to shift to silent entry on block or hit. He can't choose to not go into silent entry here. He has to go into it. Doesn't really matter because he has a very favorable situation. However, sidestep left, or sidewalk left, or sidestep left, you can do a sidestep left, beats the 2 option, the low, not the combos, and the 3 option. Otherwise, you have to guess. You could step the 1 before he got patched very early on in Season 1, where they made his dynamic entry 3 +5 as opposed to +3. But now it's +5, you can't step this option here. You can't step that anymore. So it's kind of a casino. But if you're sure you're going to do the 2 or the 3, if you have a hunch, sidestep left beats both those options. And because remember, it goes into +5 on block or hit. You can always choose that option if you want, whether it's blocked or they actually hit you with it. Moving on, we have dynamic entry 3+4. He can hold forward to go into silent entry. He can choose not to shift if he doesn't press anything. On hit, this is +4 if he shifts. It's -3 if he doesn't shift. It's -7 on block and -14 on block with no shift. On block, this is -11 essentially. The while standing at 13 frame punish won't work here. On hit, This sidewalk left, immediate duck, again beats everything except the 1+2 power crush and the 3+4. He will beat everything else. Sidewalk left, immediate duck. This also, because it's only +4, means that you can sidewalk this. Sidewalk left, see? Does work. It's tricky and you have to buffer the sidewalk, but it is possible. And the last transition we're going to look at, or silent entry, is when he goes into heat and he does forward, 3+4. This is a power crush, by the way. So, if I can get him to actually block here. There we go. You see it's a power crush, right? So, be careful about pressing against Lars when he's in heat because he can power crush this. And then, you know, go for some pretty scary stuff. Now, because this is +10 on hit and it is +5 on block, as you can see. Sidestep left, again, just like Dynamic Entry 3, sidestep left beats the 2 and the 3 options. Otherwise, you have to guess here. And on hit, because it's +10, obviously you have to take the mix-up. There's no other way around it. That is silent entry. And the very last stance we're going to look at is limited entry. That's going to wrap up today's video, guys. Stay tuned for the last video in the series, which will be looking at limited entry. If you found this useful, please do me a favor and leave a like. And if you're new here and want to find your way back, hit the subscribe button down below. That's going to be it from me. Again, like I said before in my previous video, I will leave a link to my Discord server in the description. If you want, you can go and check that out and you can look at all my notes that I use for all these videos, if that's something that interests you. That's going to be it from me, guys. I'll see you in the next video, hopefully. Take it easy, and I will see you in the next one.